Okay, this is the second installment for new hams. Me trying to help you out and give you some benefit of my experience of being a new ham over the last year or so. And even like I said before, I'm an old guy, but I'm a new ham, and take a lot of flack for not knowing what I don't know. So hopefully I can help you out with that. I'm sure if you're a new ham or you're about to become a new ham, you have some really good questions to start with. The very first one is going to be about a radio, I would imagine. It was my very first thought. But before we get there, let me just say to you this. If you will go to my QRZ.com page, W5FIV, that's QRZ.com, and look up me, W5FIV, look at my ham shack. The very first thing that I found out once I got licensed was I was making way too much noise in the house, and Mama wanted me to find a quieter place to get. And I had this tool shed out in the backyard, and took all the tools out, put them somewhere else, remodeled the inside of the building, and it makes a real nice ham shack out here. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to do something like that, but just be aware the radio makes a lot of noise and it may be disturbing to people inside the house, so you need to look for a quiet place to be, or a place where you can isolate yourself a little bit maybe, and keep the noise isolated from other people in the house. So having said that, the very first thing after that was needed a radio. Before I got licensed, I was just looking online. I went on Amazon because I knew nothing, I knew nobody to ask questions of, and so I went online and I found a handheld radio, this one right here. This is I think it's TID radio is how it's pronounced, TID radio. It is a Chinese radio, and it's a 2 meter 70 centimeter. It actually works pretty good. The battery lasts quite a while, and it works pretty good, and it hits the repeater here in the area really well. You know, you're not going to make any long distance contact with a radio like this, but anyway, if you need to hit the repeater and kind of talk to people around local and listen to what they're saying and kind of get an idea of what's going on, something like this is really good. It costs less than $100. You can spend a little more than $100, you know, or I don't know. You can spend as much as you want to spend, honestly. But this one was less than $100. It got me away while I was studying for the exams to listen to people talking, hear what they were talking about, how they were going about it, what they were doing, and they also talk about things they're doing on other radios, like their HF radios and stuff. So it gave me a good feel for what was going on and kind of catch the lingo, you know, that I wasn't used to from so many years ago. And anyway, it was I'm glad I got it. You know, it's just not the best radio in the world, but I'm glad I got it. It also has an FM radio built into it, and it has a weather channel radio built into it. So I honestly, at this point in time, that's mostly what I use it for, is the weather thing. But anyways, it came with a nice cable that you can connect it to your computer, and I downloaded Chirp so that I could program it, and I programmed it with Chirp for the local repeaters and the local repeater system, so I could do a talk around there. And then at one point I programmed it, I was going on a trip, and I programmed it for a bunch of repeaters where I was going to be. So and it worked out, you know, pretty good. So if you want to go on a trip and carry this in your car or truck with you, you can, for I don't know, $35, $50, you can buy an antenna that's a clip-on or a magnetic that'll just fit on top of there, and then plug it into your radio, run it in through the door. You get one of these handy-dandy converters right here, and then you can plug it into your coax that goes to the antenna, and this small end here plugs right directly into the radio, and that way you can use it that way inside your vehicle. So that was the very first thing I did. But I got a little bit ambitious. and I wanted to be a really radio operator. So I got online and I went to eBay. And actually, this is not a bad deal. I went to eBay and I bought a 2 meter 70 centimeter J-pole antenna. And I bought two 10-foot pieces of galvanized pipe, and I stuck my J-pole on top of that and ran coax to my radio. And it worked great. It still works great. Not long after that, I spent about, I think it was about $120. If you can see this radio right here, this is a 2 meter radio, 2 meter 70 centimeter radio. It's simplex, but I can talk all around, and I have talked some distance on this radio when there's a temperature inversion in the atmosphere. I talked about 400 miles away on it one day just on the call channel, so it's not too bad of a radio, and I've got my J-pole antenna up 23 feet up in the air, so it works really good. It's unobstructed, and it works really good. So now we've covered 3 pretty good things. One is noise. One is what kind of radio do you think you want to start off with, and the other one is a little bit about an antenna. Most people, it seemed to me, when I was getting my license, started off with a 2 meter radio so they could get on the repeaters and check things out. And that's kind of what that's all about. But you'll find yourself using those pretty often anyways. Like in my area here, there's a 2 meter net every Monday night, and there's a technical net on 2 meters, and then there's another one, I forget what it is, but there's another one that's on 2 meters too. So you certainly will use that as you get more into it. If you're like me, you're going to want to get more into HF radio. I really love CW ops, and so that's what I'm really focused on. But I also love to chew the rag with people on sideband, so I do that quite a bit too. And if you go on my YouTube channel, you can see there's a couple of videos posted there, 1 or 2 where I'm doing CW ops, and the other one is where I'm having a really early morning conversation with some friends of mine. We all meet about roughly 4 a.m. Central Standard Time here in the morning, and one guy's in Brazil, one guy's in Antigua, one guy's in Cleveland, you know, but we all kind of shoot the breeze and enjoy each other and exchange what the weather is and things like that. It's just a lot of fun to kind of chew the rag, even though it's really early in the morning. If I wasn't retired, I wouldn't be able to do this, but fortunately I am. So get on Amazon and look for a cheap radio if you don't have much money. The Chinese radios, people will talk down to them all day long and tell you how bad they are, and they're probably not the best in the world, but they will get the job done for you just getting started, and you'll be able to listen and talk a little bit when you get your license, and you know, use those radios. And then you'll want to move up later. If you want to sell your Chinese radio later on, you could do it. Keep it for a weather radio like what I did for mine. Tons of things you can do with them, and they're just not that expensive. You know, then after that, when you get ready to start moving up, then we need to talk about HF radios and antennas and things like that. So that's going to be it for this lesson. I don't guess it's a lesson, it's just a video. Anyway, please leave your comments in the comment section. Please leave your questions there too. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer you. Or you can email me. You can find my email on my page, or you can find it on my QRZ page. And please email me. But if you do email me, please put your call sign or my call sign in the subject line so I know what it is, because I get tons and tons of emails. So please put your call sign or my call sign into the subject line so that I know, you know, it's about this. And please ask your questions. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You guys know the drill, man. If the more subscribers I get, the better things get, the more videos I can make, and the better they are. So please hit the subscribe button. Please leave your comments and questions, And until next time, this is W5FIV, nicknamed number 5, 73.